tour with the United Way. Last time she was in, I thought it would be great to talk to her about River Bluff Community Foundation and Energize Clinton. Alethea Cahoy. Alethea, first of all, let's inform our listeners, River Bluff Community Foundation. How did this all come about? What is your objective?
Absolutely. The River Bluff Community Foundation was founded in 2005. Our founding members, Carol Makel, Dave Helsher, Bill Zicko, Larry, and I think Larry Dennis and Sharon Alm were also on that founding committee. They wanted to create a foundation to ensure that our community's charitable needs were met, not just then, but well into the future. And so it's kind of been this best kept secret of our community. And I joined the foundation in 2021, late 2021. And really, we still keep their original goals in mind. They had three main goals: support the community, build a brighter future, and position donors to make a difference. We still pretty much do that, and we act as that bridge between philanthropic people who have a passion for their community, for their nonprofits, and we give them that bridge to be able to find a way to support them long term through the creation of endowments.
Tell me about endowments. Nobody's ever endowed me with any money, so I'm not exactly sure how endowments work.
Absolutely. So endowments are permanently invested funds. The main corpus, the goal is to have that main corpus never deplete. So they're permanently invested, and every year there is a 5% payout that goes back to support nonprofits. Endowments can serve any 501(c) charitable organization. Schools, churches, municipalities also qualify for those. And so it's just a permanent source of funding that they can rely on year after year after year. They never go away, and the goal is to have them continue to grow. For example, for us at the foundation, last year our investment growth was a little over 15%, I believe, but only 5% of that is paid out, so that those investments continue to grow and those endowment payouts every year continue to grow.
So you have reached a milestone recently.
Yes,
as of the press release. Talk about that.
Absolutely. So one thing that the foundation does is we work with initiatives that strengthen our communities. With our host foundation, the Foundation of Greater Dubuque, has really been an instrumental partner in us being able to accomplish this endeavor. They provide a number of initiatives for us, anything from literacy, vision, brain health, different initiatives like that can help us, but also initiatives that help strengthen our community. And two particular initiatives that they support us in were Community Heart and Soul, and another initiative called Small Town Dreams. When I started with the foundation in 2021, these two initiatives kept coming up in conversations, and they really piqued my interest. And so working with the foundation, we created this really cool pilot program where we merged the two strategic efforts to create one outcome for Clinton.
Let's talk about this leadership team currently, which you head, but some great names: John Tomes, Dave Pillars, Tara Vanderleest, Cheryl Fry, Julie Dunn, and Dennis Lauber.
Yes, those are my very hardworking board members that I get to work with through the foundation, who have really stepped up to the plate and helped us get almost to the finish line here with this program.
And how often do you meet as a board?
Boy, normally we meet once a month, but for the past several months here, we've been meeting weekly. Just a brief meeting, touch base, where are you at, who have you talked to, that kind of a thing.
And who do you hope to benefit from this?
Okay, so the Energize Clinton, so what we did, I'll back up here a little bit and talk about these two initiatives that we did. The Community Heart and Soul effort, we engaged community members, over 1,200 community members, in surveys, interviews, conversations, and we learned, what do they love about Clinton? What are their hopes for the future? And what are some ideas they have to make Clinton an even better place to live, work, and play? And then we took all that information, we compiled it all, And we really looked at the most common, often recommended ideas, and compiled them in a list that we created a marketing booklet that has all that information in it that we then shared with community leaders. So we gave, Grow Clinton does a lot of stuff to strengthen and grow the community. So we gave them a copy of it. We gave the city a copy of it. We gave the county a copy of it. Anybody, any decision makers, planners, people like that got a copy of this information. And really from that effort, that community heart and soul effort, several things have already come to fruition. So there's concrete bags that are up at Riverview Park. That was from a discussion that was had with the community heart and soul. What would something you would love to see? Something that would make us even better. The Clinton Herald upgraded, updated, improved their community activities calendar. Entrefuel at Grow Clinton, that small business lab, kind of got pushed over the edge, pushed into completion through the community heart and soul effort. City and Parks took the information and have used it in their planning discussions. So that new trail up at Eagle Point Park, that walking trail that they're doing, so that folks don't have to walk along the crazy windy road, they're putting in a special walking path. And that was all part of these discussions with the community heart and soul effort.
Again, we're visiting with Alethea Cahoy. She is the executive director of River Bluff Foundation. Now, I see, are you guys headquartered out of Dubuque, or did it originally start in Dubuque, or what's the connection there?
The River Bluff Community Foundation has always been in Clinton. When they started in 2005, they have not left Clinton. What we are, Dubuque, we are affiliated with Dubuque.
Okay.
So what Dubuque provides for us is back office support, educational opportunities. They ensure that we are maintaining national standards compliance for community foundations. So really what they allow us to do is we can be the boots on the street getting stuff done here, and they take care of all the back stuff, all the managing the investments, all of that kind of stuff.
So what were some of the things that you heard from these people that you sent out this survey to?
Oh boy. Overwhelmingly, we had 6 main themes emerge that residents love about Clinton. One thing, they loved the people. By far, the majority of people said one of the first things that they love about Clinton was the people, the friendly, welcoming, inclusive environment. They like all the activities that we have going on. They mentioned Tailgate and Tall Boys. They mentioned the music on the avenue, Finally Fridays, opportunities for families to get out, engage with other families. They loved that stuff. They liked our size and location. Nestled along the Mississippi River, rural, but we are still close to bigger cities, are within a normal or within a reasonable distance to go to. They talked about amenities that we have in and around Clinton. They talked about our businesses, both big and small, and they talked about education opportunities. So we've built a lot. So pretty much every idea that they gave us that would make Clinton even better fell into one of those categories. And so things like a story walk, amenities, activities for young and old alike to appreciate, which can fall into education with our museums and stuff, but also, amenities that we have in the parks where families can get together and enjoy spending time together. They talked about mental health, brain health, really being top of people's mind we need to do stuff to erase the stigma of mental health. Let's start talking about it in terms of brain health. They talked about big events that we have, the Tailgate and Tall Boys, more events similar to that, where the whole community can participate in it.
We'll have more with Alethea Cahoy, but let's take a break for the weather, brought to you by the Clinton Midas.
Dense fog has returned for the start of your Thursday, so make sure and leave a couple of extra minutes for that morning commute. We will see cloudy skies and even a few showers moving through today. High temperatures moving to the low 50s. For tonight, cloudy skies remain, even a little bit of fog, and some showers developing with overnight lows in the 40s. With your Storm Track 8 weather impact forecast, meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Thank you, Andrew. Looks like skies are starting to clear a little bit, the fog lifting anyway. It's going to be overcast today. Temperature is into the mid-50s, right now 43. Our update brought to you by Midas. Your Clinton Midas, locally owned and operated for 49 years. Trust your vehicle to the Clinton Midas. They are now offering savings on brakes with up to $80 in savings. Get the complete details at your Clinton Midas. Of course, for maintenance, count on them from everything from an oil change to major repairs. If your engine light comes on, let the Clinton Midas give it a diagnostic check. Tires, batteries, windshield wipers, and much more at the Clinton Midas, 1432 Lincoln Way. Trust the Midas touch. Our FYI continues with Alethea Cahoy. Of course, we'll have her in on the third Wednesday of the month to talk about the United Way. So what's it like wearing two hats right now, Alethea?
I love it. It's busy, but I love it. Both organizations do such good in our community, helping the residents throughout.
You have money right now, but I would imagine you'd like to get more money, and how
Yes.
can people help you out?
Yes. So with this community heart and soul effort, we have ideas. We know what residents would like. We have ideas for things they would like to improve. So the second phase of our Energize Clinton program is creating an unrestricted endowment fund. This opportunity was inspired by the Nebraska Community Foundation. A similar effort happened there with Susan Buffett, Warren Buffett's daughter, and the Nebraska Community Foundation, where she was trying to get the small communities around Nebraska to create endowments to support their communities. And a local donor who grew up in the region, someplace between Allamakee and Clinton County, went on to become very successful and put forth a similar challenge here in our area. And it's a $100,000 challenge grant where if we raise $375,000 locally, he would give us $75,000 towards our endowment and also $25,000 in grant-making funds. So some of these ideas that residents gave us can come to fruition. So there's a baseline funding for these ideas. We're raising $375,000 locally. We started out with a quiet phase where we had one-on-one conversations with individuals, businesses, and we really explained to them what we were doing, what our goal was, and we invited them to help start this fund with us. So in December, at the end of December, after receiving a very generous $27,000 gift from Rotarians and the Rotary Foundation, pushed us past that first goal, that first milestone of $150,000. At that point, the anonymous donor gave us $25,000 for endowment and immediate $15,000 for grant making. So now we are in the community phase where we are aiming to raise another $225,000. And then halfway through that phase, the donor will give us $25,000 and another $10,000 for grant making. And then when we raise a final total of $425,000 in gifts and pledges, that anonymous donor will give us the final $25,000 to create a $450,000 endowment. And when fully established, that will pay out between $20,000 and $25,000 a year for projects that the residents of Clinton want to see happen.
That is amazing. How can people individually donate? And
Absolutely.
there is a tax credit involved, I understand.
There is. We are able to accept such a wide variety of gifts, anything from outright cash, appreciated stocks, for folks older than 70 and a half who are taking their required minimum distributions. They can channel that through an endowment to our endowment and receive that tax credit, the Endow Iowa tax credit, with money that they maybe never even paid taxes on before. So that Endow Iowa tax credit that you mentioned is a 25% tax credit off of your towards your Iowa tax liability for gifts to endowments held at accredited community foundations, which is what we are. So, an example would be if you made a $5,000 gift to the Energize Clinton Endowment, you would receive a voucher for a $1,250 tax credit for the state of Iowa liability, which would make your net gift out of pocket only $3,750. So it really is.
So talk to your financial planner, talk to
Yes.
your tax person,
Yes.
and see how you can help energize Clinton. So it
Absolutely.
is an amazing thing that you folks are doing for our community. Can people go to a website? Do you have a website to find out more information about Energize Clinton?
Probably the easiest thing to do would be to give me a call. And
Okay.
I can direct them or have, I'd love to have a conversation with anybody who would be interested in supporting this. Truly supporting this endowment is leaving a legacy for our community. It is a lasting gift. This money is a one-time gift that will continue to grow forever and ever and ever.
Can they contact you at the United Way? Would that be the best way?
Probably the easiest way would be to give me a call on my cell phone,
And that is?
563-321-0317.
Okay, I got that here, so I can repeat that a little bit later
Yes.
on. We're talking about individuals, but do you get like businesses involved as well, Alethea?
Yes, businesses can give as well, and actually businesses do qualify for that Endow Iowa tax credit as well. And so we have been out talking to individuals, families, businesses. Anybody can give and support this. It really will strengthen Clinton for generations to come.
Sounds like, this, as you said, is kind of an unknown quantity in the community, but you're trying to make yourself known a
Yes.
little bit more to do something positive for the city. Before we let you go, and thank you so much for your time.
You bet.
We'll, of course, get you on the third Wednesday of the month, but how are things going with the United Way?
We are doing very well at the United Way, getting ready to kick off our Citizen Review Committee to determine allocations for our nonprofit partner agencies. We have our annual meeting coming up the end of March, so things keep moving along.
Again, we appreciate your time so much, and if people would like to find out more about Energize Clinton, give you a call, 563-321-0317. And of course, we also put this program on our website, and people can listen in for it
Wonderful.
whenever they would like to. Hey, thanks again so much for coming in.
You bet. Thanks for having me.